Hey everyone, it's the Maritime Wrestling Superfan Connor Cook, and you are listening to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
This is the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling rules the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Joined this week by the usual cast of merry men. The big boss, Corey Robichaud. Lots of news on the BSHL lately.
There is. Remember that time, Jason, that Corey couldn't remember the fucking intro? Remember that?
Hello.
It was unreal. Hello, podcast, welcome. Wee! He just couldn't remember it. Yeah, lots of stuff going on in the BSHL podcast, Corey. We got new teams in the league, a lot of messages, people reaching out. We've had 2 episodes in the last 10 days, which is
Awesome.
phenomenal, man.
I
It's
missed
great.
that.
Yeah, we're back. It's player announcements are going to be coming soon, I'm sure. So
Absolutely. The Magic Man himself, Jason Casey, what's going on?
Same thing, different day.
Same thing, different day. Another Tuesday, as we'd usually say.
Another Tuesday.
There you go. And bringing up the rear, Mark the Mark himself. What's going on, brother?
Doing all right from the rear.
From the rear.
Sorry.
you're bringing up the rear. It's where you like to be, Vice.
Jesus.
So
He's the
big
backup
thank
guy.
you. Big thank you to Connor Cook for that intro. If you don't know, today is Connor's birthday. The Maple Grove Growler himself, Connor Cook.
Say that again.
The Maple Grove Growler, Connor Cook.
There we go, Corey.
His
Getting
episode
better.
2 of Wrestling Things comes out today. Go subscribe to Connor's channel. So on behalf of myself, Mark the Mark, Magic Man Jason, and your favorite cousin Corey, happy birthday, Connor.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy
Happy birthday, man. I know Cheryl's not your favorite. You don't have to tell her because we don't want to make her sad, but we all know.
We all know.
We all know who your favorite Corey is, and it's not me. But we know who your favorite cousin is, and it is me.
You know, Chi Cruz is called Corey, too. That's probably his favorite.
I wouldn't blame him.
So let's get started here. We are going to start big show today. Really, really big show. We're going to start with UCW that had a very interesting show this past weekend. On VIP, AWOL beat Lincoln Steen and a masked wrestler.
Pued Hacalero.
There you go. Pued Hacalero. And I'm the only one that I think speaks Spanish here, so AWOL starting to get some momentum in UCW. Potentially tag team champions in the near future.
It's possible. I got to start somewhere. They've been on their card. I think it's probably their 3rd, maybe 4th time UCW now. So this was the VIP match, but got to start somewhere, man. Lately, I think whether it's VIP or main card, it doesn't matter anymore because we've noticed and we've experienced in the past that there's some really big VIP matches that
Absolutely.
technically should be on the main card anyway. So
Yep.
if you're not buying your VIP tickets, you're definitely missing out.
Absolutely.
I think I got a good example looking back at that North Pro show. That VIP was,
Yeah,
it was
Yeah.
better than some shows, full shows.
exactly.
Yeah. The main card started with the UCW Atlantic Canadian Championship as Rudy Lockhart successfully defended the title versus Ethan Knight. This seems to be a top feud right now in multiple promotions. So thoughts on these two wrestling one more time? Like, you can't get enough of these guys. They're great.
Yeah, I've heard a lot over the weekend about, well, they've actually wrestled each other twice. We'll talk about it again after,
Yep.
but everybody you talk to, everybody that's seen, whether UCW or the other one, they, match of the night, match of the weekend, top feud, people going through tables. It was unbelievable. Um, they're two young guys, that are coming into their own, and it's cool to see that they're both like progressing almost at the same time. So it'll be fun to see where the two of them end up in the next 2 or 3 years.
I agree. It's funny because you could see these two. This was opening match of the main card for the secondary title. It's not out of the ordinary that we could see these two wrestling for the world title in a year from now.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
both guys have held companies' top titles. Ethan Knight is a former UCW heavyweight champion, so it's a great look into the future / present. Hi, Maggie. Your thoughts, guys, on this match, Corey and Mark.
I mean, I'm glad that, it happened twice this weekend. I agree with you. I think Ethan's already been there for a while now, in my opinion. He's just character development and personality. But Rudy's really kind of finding his groove right now. And I really think that 2026 is the year of Rudy Lockhart. That's my prediction right now. I think just the way that he's trending, he's going to have a major title that he's going to hold for an extended period in the next 12 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he could definitely benefit from that, and just some good defenses, like title defenses, would do him a big favor for sure.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, this was a big title defense right here.
Yeah. Exactly. My point. Yeah.
Next match on the card, Robbie McAllister beat Bradford Montague. He keeps going between Gillis and Montague, so we're gonna go with.
So Bradford Montague is all other promotions other than Red Rock.
Okay, so
Red
that's
Rock
what it is.
Bradford Gillis, yeah.
So Robbie McAllister, former UCW champion. We're lucky to have him in the Maritimes. Bradford Montague is one of those guys. We've seen him live. Guy looks great. Guy's hair looked great too. That mullet. A throwback look.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Bradford? Because I think, we've seen him in IHW, we've seen him in North Pro, and now he's in UCW, but it's short stints. His home promotion is Red Rock. How long before a major title is on this guy?
I think it's coming pretty quick. I think he's going to be holding a Red Rock title pretty quick. UCW, not sure so much. Like I say, it was his debut with UCW. So I think he still has a little bit of ladder climbing to do in UCW.
Yep.
But in the Maritimes, it's coming.
Because I know he is a former Red Rock Wrestling light heavyweight champion. But I think the big belt is creeping towards him. So, Corey, Mark, thoughts on Bradford Montague Gillis?
I'd like to see him more in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, for sure. His home promotion is definitely Red Rock, and he's doing great there. But guy's got a talent, guy's got a good look. I don't know, unique.
Oh yeah, he's even beefed up since we've last seen him. Most likely in North Pro, I think, was the last time that we'd seen him. But yeah, good for him. He was super over with the crowd. He knew how to work the crowd. I was for him. Good for him, And if he does win a title, I could see it, because he was already pretty good, and I think he was wrestling on the VIP at the time. So, hey, good for him. He was coming.
Madison Miles beat Matt Connors of Sabotage. Maddie is back. I'm waiting for her to break into another promotion. We need a women's title somewhere on Maddie.
Oh, yeah.
We really do. I think it does nothing for her, but really, really helps a women's title, whether it be the ECPW women's title. I don't know if she'll go all the way to Fredericton for CCW. Her feuding with Salem Wilder would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I think there's a title waiting for Maddie somewhere. So thoughts on this?
So a few weeks away from now, 2 weeks from Friday, I think it is. 3 weeks from Friday. 3 weeks from Friday. We're going to be seeing IHW have their first opening round for their women's title, right? So it's on the...
Are we?
Yeah. I don't know why you're... Jason, am I right on that? I'm not out of mind. So we're going to be seeing Karma take on... God, somebody pull it up right now. And then I think it's Maddie and Salem Wilder on the main card. So September, we will be seeing a finals for a women's title in the IHW.
I had no clue. If I heard that, it quickly left my mind.
Corey's
I had
working a
zero
lot,
clue.
so he doesn't see it a lot.
You're right.
It's Karma versus who?
Karma versus Ronnie Payne.
There it is, yes.
And Salem versus Madison for the IHW Women's Championship qualifier.
So Karma and Ronnie are on the VIP, right?
On the Mega Pass, yeah.
There it is, yeah. Fine, Mega Pass, yeah. So,
so
unfortunately that night, there are two shows. So the podcast crew here is going to be split up. I'm going to IHW. I think Jason's going to North Pro. Mark's going to go fuck himself. I don't know where Mark's going. It's up to Mark. Well, what's nice about this is we're going to have representation at both. So Mark can now wait.
Pretty sure there's something going on at Loot Prestige as well, if I'm not mistaken. So Mark can go to Atholville for all I care.
Mark can go to Atholville. No, it's a little too far.
What did LG call it? Assholeville?
I love that. Mark can kind of take his choice if he wants to go see North Pro. If he wants to come see IHW, it's kind of up to him. But
you know what? I think I made my decision. Fuck you guys. I ain't going nowhere.
That's not very nice.
I'll fucking stay home.
I'll be sad if you're home. You're home.
Corey's saying go to IHW with him. He enjoys your company.
Kind of. Yeah.
We did have fun at the last North Pro
I would like to see Mark at IHW for that Fantana versus LG mask on a pole match.
I think that might be the match of the night for sure.
You know it's going to be.
To watch.
It's going to be a hell of a
You know
match.
it's going to be.
So, looking forward to that show. It should be a good time. But yeah, so we got a women's title there. I think Maddie has as good a chance as anybody to progress to the finals and probably take it.
I think I love Salem Wilder.
Oh my God.
Ronnie Payne's great. Love Karma. Love all these women. It's tailor-made for Madison Miles. She's the lady of the Maritimes.
Yeah, like you
she needs to be the one.
Especially with a new title, you have to put it on somebody that gives it prestige.
Yeah. Maddie holding the belt for a year, let's say, adds prestige to it. So when Salem Wilder or Ronnie Payne or Karma takes it, well, there you go. We got someone that's made in one night. And let's just say it's Salem Wilder. She holds the title a few months, loses it. Well, I guess Chantel isn't in IHW anymore. But let's say Chantel wins it after that. Another great female wrestler that adds to the belt. And now Salem can chase the belt. It books itself right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there needs to be like the head of the women's division, right? Like anything else, right? Who's like your number one?
I mean, and I think something about Maddie holding a belt with Dave as her manager. Man, sign me up for that shit.
Yeah.
And we interviewed Dave a few weeks ago, and he flat out told us, like, I'm almost done, So, let's get that while we can, because there's some nostalgia there, but it's also something that's going to add, like, this could be the final thing that Dave Boyce does as a performer. So
he'll be rich by the time he retires, because by the time he sells all his Timu stock,
oh my God. All those things, but he's going to spend it all on programs and fucking merch. We went way off track. We're still talking about UCW here.
Yes. So Madison Miles beating Matt Connors. I imagine this was a great match.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was match of the night candidate, man. Two talented performers.
Matt Connors, to me, is one of the most underrated guys in the Maritimes. We know he can work. We know, like, even promo-wise, Like, just angle-wise, the feud, the sabotage exploding, all that. It was so good. And he was very creative with that, both him and Justin. And, him versus Maddie was probably just a slobber knocker.
I'm sure it was a fantastic match.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like actually you were talking about that, especially like when Connors and Newhook were facing off there. Like in a lot of cases, they didn't need to say anything. But you knew what was going on, right? You could feel what was going on. So there's always that when they're around.
I call that the Bela Lugosi effect. Bela Lugosi was one of my favorite actors from the early 30s. And he did Dracula, so the old 1931 Dracula. And he just had a way of acting where you just look into his face. He didn't say a word, but you can tell the story just by looking at him. And that's what Connors and Newhook did in that feud. And that's why I'm a big fan of Sabotage, and that's why I'm a big fan of LG too.
Yeah,
less is more.
100%.
He talks a lot, though, eh?
Talks a lot, but dude, if you don't have to take a bump and you're the only thing they remember that night, I keep saying it. He's a brilliant mind. I can't wait to see him this weekend at IPW, and I hope he has a paper bag to put on Mark's face or something, because he told you to get that face circumcised and you did not. So
I don't need to.
He said that with a straight face too. All right, next match. NWO, Max Power and Joey White. They are the brand new UCW Tag Team Champions. They beat Deuce and Dawson and AWOL in a three-way match. AWOL was added to the match after their big win in the VIP. Jason, tell us how this all came together.
Oh yeah.
It's a very good question. NWO ended up winning the match because Dawson turned on Deuce and Boyce.
Scoundrel.
How dare he? And he joined the NWO. So they're now completely formed. And now Deuce is on his own, and AWOL are on their own. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Deuce. I know that Dawson took and hit Boyce with his crutches, so if he wasn't hurting before, he's definitely hurting now.
Well, after falling from a 10,000 feet fall, poor guy. What a soldier. I love Dave Boyce.
Absolutely. Legend, even.
Broken leg, neck brace, my goodness.
And he still showed up to work.
Oh yeah.
Remember Corey, when I went for my prolotherapy and I did the hockey game, I had Uncle Dave Boyce in my head. Dave would do it. What would Dave do?
He doesn't work for the federal government, because then he would have called in sick.
Yeah, there you go.
What are you talking about? I never take sick days, dude.
All right, main event time. Hollywood Cole versus Chip Chambers went to a no contest.
Oh, wow.
Another rematch will be made, and this will be in a 15-foot high steel cage. So, just when you thought this feud couldn't get any better, it gets better. I fucking love these two guys together. This is the definition of a Maritime main event. Yeah. Hollywood Cole, Chip Chambers, UCW Heavyweight Championship of the World. It can't get better. I'm salivating just thinking about a steel cage match with these two.
Yeah. Last steel cage match Cole was in was against Troy Merritt.
And Blood of Gusher. Blood of Gusher.
Fantastic match. So I can only imagine what this one here is going to produce.
You can find that match on New Scott's YouTube channel too.
Yep.
So thoughts on this, boys, Mark and Corey?
I mean, we're lucky. The payoff match hasn't happened yet, so it's going to be great for the Maritime.
It's a slow burn.
I enjoy that. So.
Oh yeah.
Have they announced the date of the next show?
I think they have, right?
I'm not sure. If they have, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure.
If Jason hasn't seen it, it probably doesn't exist.
The guy.
If it's in August, do we have an August show that we're attending?
No, I'm working. Dipshit.
You're working. The three of us.
Yeah, it's not all about you, fucker. The show is not announced yet. No date. So we'll keep an eye and hopefully we'll be able to get out to it.
Do it in July. That'd be great.
We already have a July show. Jeez.
Well, fuck, I only
More
have
than one
July.
weekend. More than
You're
one
gonna do
weekend.
that to Mr.
multiple
David A.
weekends.
Boyce.
There's multiple
All right.
weekends.
When we go to UCW, we're leaving Mark behind.
Perfect. We'll send him pictures.
I can work from there. I'll bring my laptop.
All right, next
I'm just
show,
kidding.
Red Rock Wrestling results. Bradford Gillis beat Chris Charters. So, again, Bradford taking on another veteran of the Maritimes. This is, what's the story here? The Forsaken, right?
Yeah,
Charters and Obey.
Yeah, Obey was in his corner during the match, but Bradford was able to get the win. So
FKA came out, right? To help him out. He used to be with the Forsaken.
that was a little later.
Little later, my bad. So, next match, Andre Myatt beat Hollywood Cole. Hollywood Cole, he's everywhere right now. I don't remember seeing him a lot in Red Rock Wrestling. Is this his first time in Red Rock?
I do believe it was his debut. If not his debut, definitely I think only his second. But I do believe it
Interesting.
might have been his debut.
Thoughts on this, Mark?
Very interesting. And honestly, we all know him as the workhorse around here, right? So,
Yep.
hey, good for him for getting more exposure and being, PEI in general. Was it his debut in PEI or just for Red Rock?
In
think it was
PEI, I
his-
believe.
Yeah.
In PEI, that would make sense, yeah. Good for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
A
Lost,
very...
though. What's the narrative there? Is there one?
The next matchup is very storylined. Ethan Knight versus Rudy Lockhart. Jason, can you figure this one out?
All right, so it started off with Ethan and Rudy wrestling each other, and Ethan actually beat Rudy. And then after the match, the Forsaken, Charters, and Obey came out and beat down Rudy. FKA ran out and chased Obey and Charters out of the ring with a kendo stick. I did see a couple clips, so there was a couple shots with the kendo stick involved. And then Rudy then cashed in his Red Rock Rumble briefcase, for a better word, from his win from last year's Red Rock Rumble. So then he challenged Ethan Knight to a rematch again for the title and won the title. So they would have wrestled two matches back to back.
So, was Ethan Knight already the light heavyweight champion, or was Rudy the champion?
Ethan was.
Ethan was. So now Rudy is a double champion.
Yes.
This is Rudy's second reign as light heavyweight champion, right?
Don't believe so. I think this is the first time he's won it.
Do you think?
Kind
I
of
thought he
rings
had
a
won
bell
it.
to me, though.
I think Ethan won it from Rudy.
Maybe it's possible. I'd have to look into it.
Yeah, we might be right, we might be wrong, we don't really know. Next matchup, Chris Cook beat Lincoln Steen to retain the Red Rock Wrestling Heavyweight Championship of the world. A legendary feud reunited here. I always enjoyed Chris Cook and Lincoln Steen having a match together. I don't know, great stuff here. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's old
Yeah,
school
like-
wrestling.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I imagine it. Just a good bout, like a good psychological bout, and just getting people into it and really juicing it for all it has.
To me, sticking these two in the main event is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened before, but it's still a no-brainer. Because, I don't know, there are two guys that you can trust to finish the show.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're not going to stink up the joint. Like, Steen can do all his shenanigans and all that. And Chris Cook is, as advertised, one of the absolute best there is in the Maritimes. And he has been one of the best in the Maritimes for a very long time. So, just got to imagine this was a hell of a great match.
Oh,
The Red Rock Rumble finished the show, and Bradford Gillis wins the Red Rock Rumble, making him number one contender. So
For any title he wishes to take on. I did just do a little research. It looks like this is the first time that Rudy has held the light heavyweight belt. Him and Ethan has gone head to head multiple times. Up until that night, trying to get it. I can see in April they went head to head, but Rudy kept falling short. Ethan got the light heavyweight belt off of Bradford Gillis, so
okay,
this is Rudy's first time. So yeah, but like you say, it's he's a workhorse. He does now hold the belt, 2 belts. He's got the UCW belt. He's got the Red Rock belt. Just a matter of time before somebody else puts a belt on him.
absolutely.
I mean, he did hold the North Pro belt for a short period of time as well. So
Yep,
that's
and
3
he's a
belts.
former
right now.
UCW Tag Team Champion as well.
Yeah. So
I got a question here. So, kind of before we move on to the next match, but do you guys think it's too early for Bradford Gillis to try and get a shot at Chris Cook?
No, because they need a face now. Because Cook, we interviewed Cook a month and a half ago, and Cook said he's done at the end of the year.
That does make sense.
So, Bradford Gillis is a hometown boy. Seems to be over like crazy there. Why not anoint the new champion? Chris Cook passing the torch to Bradford Gillis. Makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yeah.
Could they program this into a multi-match feud? Absolutely. Absolutely. Doesn't mean that Bradford has to win the title right now. But I think that before the year is done, the Red Rock Heavyweight Championship belt is around the waist of Bradford Gillis.
It would make sense to me. Yeah. That's why I figured I'd ask, because I was like, weren't we just talking about this where Bradford Gillis is probably the future of like Red Rock, right?
100%. I think Cowboy Mike Hughes sees a lot of himself in Bradford Gillis. And
I mean, you also got to think Ethan Knight might be the next one to go after that big belt as well. He's just relinquished the light heavyweight, so it's time for him to start challenging for the heavyweight. So you might see some triple threat stuff going on there for the heavyweight.
It's very possible.
A Gillis and Knight feud. Maybe Knight takes the belt off Chris. Gillis takes the belt off Knight. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities there.
I like the Chris Cook losing the title to Bradford Gillis because it's a real passing of the torch. It's a Hogan Warrior type of situation where the old guard anoints the new face of the company. So I do that, but I'm not saying Ethan Knight as champion is something that I wouldn't like. I'd love that because Ethan Knight is great. And if Mark says Aaron or whatever, I'm going to slap him right in the teeth.
Too bad you're so far away.
Big bad LG, I need you to bring that paper bag to the IPW show. Circumcise that face. All right. Laugh so hard. Next show, New Breed Wrestling. The VIP match saw Ryan Schimmel beat FKA. Ryan Schimmel is quickly becoming one of my favorites from that Kaizen crew. I think Ian Pratt's still my guy. Schimmel's really been impressing me this year.
Yeah, he's grown leaps and bounds since the first time I've seen him.
Yeah.
Just got back from a trip. Went and did some training in Quebec, I believe. Training, some seminars, a whole bunch of stuff with Jason Boa, Bobby Boyette. Anybody that's willing to make the trip out of province to the States, to Quebec, to wherever, to improve your craft and get bigger and better, I mean, that's perfect. You know what I mean? That's what you want. You want people to perfect their craft, and so I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. What's next for him? So Same thing with FKA. I mean, he's redeveloping, or he's developing a new gimmick. So I'm interested to see where he takes this and where he goes with it. But a lot of people may not know, but FKA has been wrestling a long time, and he's just a young guy. So it'll be cool to see where he goes from here.
Yeah, and I agree. And I mean, honestly, I think we said this during the last episode, but his promos are just, they're getting better and better. And I think it's going to add a lot more, like, okay, where is this heading? And we're going to stick to that question until it comes out, right? So it's going to be very, very interesting to follow for sure.
Yeah, when you say promos, like both guys, Schimmel and FKA, are now pulling off really cool promos. Like, Schimmel's like starting to develop into not just a great wrestler, but as well as a great storyteller. So I love to see where he's going to go from here.
Yeah, and he's pretty much it's like we were saying, probably in the top 3 of that Kaizen crew, right? I mean, apart from Covey, obviously, but Boyette, Boa, Schimmel, most likely. Yeah.
Pratt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justice for Pratt and Justine Ward. I love Justine as well. So
yeah, there's a couple more that we'll mention in a couple minutes here.
Oh, yeah, we're just gonna go through the entire Kaizen crew and be like, we love all of them.
I mean, we do.
I always loved Kaizen. I think it's I don't know, just Covey's done a great job with his students.
Yep.
And Covey's did the Maritimes a favor by giving us students that were young and are probably gonna go do things like Joey White. He's one of those guys that's just Bobby Boyette. Yeah. No, you're such a dick, you fuckhead. Next match.
No, man, he's a great talent. I love it.
He's a great talent.
Speaking of Bobby Boyette, next match was the NBW Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah, Rodeo Rock Stars. They beat Bobby Boyette and the Ghost Ricky Mortis. It's a makeshift tag team. There are a few tag teams in the history of professional wrestling that were makeshift tag teams that went on to big success.
Oh, absolutely.
They became known for a tag team. Ryan Denham, I believe it's Ryan Denham and
Damien Spade.
Yep.
It's an oddball couple.
Yeah.
It's different. I'm holding my judgment on it until there's some life to it. Like, I'm giving it time. I'm not crapping on it yet. But it is a makeshift tag team, but America's Most Wanted was a makeshift tag team. Who else were makeshift tag teams that were great? Like, I remember Rob Van Dam and Kane had a great tag team.
Some of my favorites were those.
Yeah.
And you can think of one right now based on something that I said all the time.
Which is?
When I showed up at your place,
I'm the tag team champions.
Exactly. Bryan Danielson.
One of Corey Robichaux's favorite time period, William Regal and Lance Storm is the tag team champions.
That's pretty cool, though. They're both great technical wrestlers.
Corey, you're muted. I can't hear anything.
My mic is turned off. Booker T and Goldust.
That was
as well. Too. There's a lot of those, and it makes for some fun times for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So they retain the titles. I'm loving their tag titles. They're shaped like the old. So All Japan had these titles. It's the old international tag team titles, but a lot of territories use these titles too. Really love those designs. Where am I now? So after that...
well, just to mention that as well, there was a small comedy section of that match as well where Ryan Denham actually lassoed Bobby Boyette to hold him back from helping...
that was the photo.
Yeah, so he lassoed Bobby Boyette, preventing him from stopping Damien Spade on pitting Ricky Mortis. So... I think that
pimping Ricky Mortis. What the hell?
Yeah.
What kind of show
Ricky
is
Mortis
this?
Is pretty pimping, man. I don't know.
New breed. Remember, new breed.
I believe we missed one match, right? Andre
we
Myatt beat Max Power to end their feud.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say that one yet? So, yeah.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
So they end their feud there. They've been feuding for a while, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. New Breed is it. There are some guys they go into promotion, it just gives them a lot of life. And for Andre Myatt, he's been such an ace in this promotion. I kind of want to see him with the big belt.
Yeah.
I think it's been a while since Andre's really held a major singles title. I believe the last one might have been the Red Rock title. I don't know. I'd like to see Andre get the big belt soon.
Yeah, he's such a great storyteller.
Yes, exactly. So next up we have Justin Newhook beating Ian Pratt to successfully defend the Celtic Roots title. Am I on the right show here?
Not at all. Not even close.
Not at all, huh?
Breed here. No.
New Breed, so no title match
No
here.
title.
I worked 12 hours today.
Here we go.
Did you work today?
I think I did. I'm not 100% sure.
So
Maybe he
did
did.
I.
Maybe he did defend the title. Who knows?
Who knows?
But
I was
honestly,
not
that
there.
That title's been defended on different promotions before, right? I think New Hook
did.
showed up at was it UCW?
Propeller Arcade.
PWU, yeah.
Yeah, their big WrestleMania show. It wasn't on WrestleMania weekend. It's just like everything was a title match or an important match.
That's right, yeah.
So
But
New
this
Hook
would've been-
beating Ian
this-
Pratt.
This would have been a great match. New Hook and
Of
Ian
course.
Pratt are two of the best guys in the Maritimes. I love watching them wrestle together. It would have been fantastic.
It's almost like a no-brainer match. That's like, why haven't they wrestled before? They probably have.
Yeah.
But it's a match I want to see in person.
Is it the first
100%.
time, I wonder? That's a good question. I'm curious.
It could be.
Yeah.
The next match is a title match for the NBW Fighting Spirit title. Ryan Storm successfully defending the title against Riddick Stone. Thoughts on this? Ryan Storm, almost a career resurgence here. Reminds me of his time as I-Champion in IHW in the early 2010s, feuding with our good buddy BT Bobby Man. Corey had one hell of a look on his face there.
Yeah, I think this would have been a great match as well. This is, I think, their second time meeting up for the title, going back to last year when Riddick came back, and pretty much pummeled Storm in the ring, saying that he was going to take the title. He almost took it at this match as well, but Bobby Boyette interfered, and they fought outside the ring, and they made their way all the way back to behind the curtain, and Riddick Stone got counted out. So
I like Ryan Storm as the champion here. I think he adds to the title. We keep saying that he adds to the title, and it's almost like a forgotten secondary title of the Maritimes, but it's getting prestigious,
Oh yeah, and Storm has a very good comedic role with that title.
Yeah.
And in New Breed, he's probably got the most mismatched equipment and gear while he's wrestling in that promotion, like fluorescent yellow shorts and like rainbow shirt, and like just it's absolutely crazy. But it works. So yeah, he does a really good job.
The next matchup was a Kaizen special here. So Sebi beat Benoit Gravel and Covey Christ. It was supposed to be a singles match. Covey came out, said he was going to give them a final lesson. Sebi gets a roll up on, I believe, Benoit. Gets a big win here because he beats Benoit Gravel, but also gets a win over Covey Christ. So moving on up.
I think this would have been a fantastic match. I didn't see the match yet, so I'm not sure if he got the win single-handedly or if he used the bubble gun.
I don't know. I think I read that it was a roll-up. So
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Roll up with the bubble gun?
Well, not sure. Not sure if
Right in the
maybe
face.
maybe he used the bubble gun to take Covey out first. I'm really not sure how it worked.
Maybe.
But I'm sure it was a good match.
Yeah, it got me by surprise for sure. Like when you mentioned that Sebi beat Ben Ravel, which I've seen a couple of times now, he's an excellent talent. Love to see him perform.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
like he really gets it. He's so good technically. Like I love it. I love watching him.
The main event this night for the NBW Heavyweight Championship of the World, Bad Thad Howitt gets the win over Jonathan Cross. Something tells me this isn't over.
I think it's far from over. This was a fans bring the weapons match. So, there was a long list of stuff. Hockey sticks, boards, eggs, kendo sticks, guitars, baseballs, even brought a bag of Legos.
Oh, not the Lego.
Yeah, so, there was a lot that happened during this match. There was interference by his former manager, Evan Wolf, so that's been a big part of the feud.
Yep.
So it's a lot of stuff going on. I think there's going to be a lot more action coming in the next show because I'm sure Evan Wolf is going to get what's coming to him.
Shark Cage?
Maybe.
Maybe. I am intrigued. Thoughts on this match, boys?
For me, two things. One, wish I would have seen it. Sounds fantastic. Two, if you were bringing a weapon to the fans bring the weapon match, what weapon would you bring?
Ooh.
Well, I'd bring a power of attorney.
That's a hell of a weapon.
So somebody else
I would bring a
smack
boys.
him on behalf of you.
I'd bring a boys box.
Oh, yeah, you can pay him off.
No, they could give someone a paper cut.
It's one of those papers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Made of razors.
Razors.
I was looking around at what I had, to be honest, and I have an old hockey stick.
All
That
right.
would make sense. Yeah.
Well, they did bring hockey sticks this past weekend, so I
Yeah.
don't know, baseball bat maybe, or maybe Triple H's sledgehammer.
There you go. Maybe like a pallet. Just bring a pallet.
Put your head through a pallet. Yeah.
Screw it. I do like some fans bring their weapons matches, man. Sounds like fun.
IHW used to perfect those. But yeah, Bad Thad Howitt retains his NBW Heavyweight Championship of the World. I'm enjoying this run. I can't wait to see where this goes with Jonathan Cross. We've mentioned it before. We're huge Jonathan Cross marks, and we're big Thad Howitt marks. So props to these guys on a great feud in New Breed Wrestling. Final show results here. The IHW show in Miramichi. One of us was there.
Really?
It wasn't me. Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Corey. So the show starts off with Hunter Sampson beating Caden. And you had some great words to say about this.
It was a really good match. Hunter comes out, grabs the mic from Miss Kate, and kind of goes, I got here tonight, supposed to have a match, I don't have an opponent. Caden walks out. Really good match, man. Caden is... I haven't seen a ton of him. I know he's been around for a long time. What a talent, man. Holy moly. A lot of heat, ton of heat. Hunter Sampson is just phenomenal wrestler. He's so much fun to watch.
Becoming a huge name.
Oh,
Caden is just, I had seen a lot of him, and I keep mentioning this match, that Fatal 4-Way in IPW. It's rare that I'll watch the same match 3 or 4 times in a week. I did it with that match, and a lot of it is because of Caden. It's not just because of him. Spike Esty was great, and everybody in that match was great. But I really, really became... It went from Wave Rider Caden to this new Caden. Like almost this... about to peek into main event, So I'm a big fan of Caden. I told Corey, keep your eyes on this guy, because this guy's gonna... He has a good chance of stealing the show, and... I'm glad when I'm right. Thank you, Caden, for making me right. Mark, thoughts on Caden and Horsepower Hunter Sampson?
I've seen Hunter Sampson perform
You have.
before. I don't see why he wouldn't become one of the top guys in IHW eventually, right?
Yeah, I think he's good. He can be lined up for that honor title someday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't see why not. In regards to Caden, I have seen him on YouTube though in the 4-way match, the one that you were talking about. Phenomenal match, man. That
Exactly.
was crazy. But other than that, though, I haven't seen him in person yet. So I can't
That's
wait
the
for
one
that
thing that I regret is because I was really hoping he was going to be at that IPW show this Saturday. And I asked Justin Summers, and he's like, he's not booked. And I was like, fuck. I was really hoping to see Caden there. I was like, LG's going to be there. Caden's going to be there. Fucking Zane Valentine and Eric Bass are going to be there. I'm like, this is going to be the best show ever. Then Caden's not there. So disappointed, but I get it.
Can't book everyone.
Can't book everyone.
Exactly.
It is what it is. Tag team match here. James Manning teams up with Chaz, and they beat Kirk Obey and Rugged Rick Owens. Jason, what happened here?
I don't know. I wasn't there. Ask Corey.
Jason, that's Corey.
Jason, tell me what happened. You weren't there. So, good match. I like James Manning a lot. He's got this style. He's got
a look.
Yeah, stance, or there's something about him. Chaz doesn't get a ton of shows, more of those northern shows, and then makes some Miramichi IHW. Chaz is good. But James Manning in this match, man, holy, something just, it's the look, it's the stance, it's the way he moves around.
The Mauler name, just, I think, I don't know what his finishing move is. He's one of those guys I'd give him the heart punch and just call it the hate punch.
He, kind of menacing with the kids, too. It's a big kid show in Miramichi, so he's just a big heel. And he's tall when I'm standing next to him, so he's tall for those kids for sure. What happened here was Kirk Obey and Rick Owens. Kirk hurts his back mid-match. He's kind of holding his back. And then Rick goes for a tag at one point. Kirk jumps down. Kirk jumps down and goes, "No, I'm done." Walks out holding his back to many boos. And in turn, Rick gets pinned. So that's the story there. But it was a great match up to then. But again, I think for this one, the story is Manning, man. I think this guy's got a lot of talent, and can't wait to see where he goes with it for sure. I mean, we got the performance you expect from the other guys. Obey's a talent. Jason's wagging his finger around in the air. Owens has been around for so long, and another great match by him. But credit to Manning.
So just a note on the Mauler, James Manning. We had talked about him and Ricky Mortis in a previous show about them doing a tag team called the Hateful Dead.
Yeah, buddy.
So James Manning is the guy that came up with that name, the Hateful Dead, not Ricky Mortis. I was told to correct that. So the idea came from James Manning.
He was probably going to hate you forever because that's what he does.
That's right.
No,
I didn't want to get mauled, so
yeah, I love his look. He's got, I know Mark kept saying, he looks like John Moxley. He's got a little look like John Moxley.
Totally.
He does.
He reminds me of the old school heel. He reminds me of an Ox Baker, and I think that's why I'd give him the heart punch. Because Ox Baker, for anybody that doesn't know Ox Baker, he's passed away now. He used the heart punch, and twice, if it happens once, it's bad enough. But twice after wrestling, his opponent passed away. And wrestling being kayfabe, he's like, my heart punch killed them. They had pre-existing medical conditions that led to their deaths. But for years, it wasn't a championship belt that made Ox Baker what he was. He killed two people, even though he didn't. And he always had that menacing look and all that. And James Manning reminds me of that so much. And I don't know. I don't know what his finish is, but bring back the heart punch.
Yeah, he almost reminds me of the old school Vachons, Butcher Vachon, Ed Doug Vachon.
Yeah, a little bit.
That kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of gimmick look, beard, bald.
Yeah.
menacing
as
looking.
fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's fantastic.
It's his scowl too. He has this like look, like he's just
Yeah.
like unhinged as a character, and I love gimmicks. Someone that's clean cut and that's someone that's clean cut and no facial expressions and just like I'm a wrestler. And James Manning is, he doesn't have to cut a promo. He's got his hands in his face and he's like, oh, I'm gonna lose my shit here, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's attention to detail, and I always appreciate that. So, next matchup, Salem Wilder beat Karma Rain. Corey, how'd this go?
Actually, it went fantastic.
Karma's been there was a long gap for Karma, so she was wrestling. She took a break for some health issues. Now she's back. It's very clear that during that time off, if she wasn't training in the ring and wrestling in the ring, her psychology is definitely a lot better. She's there. Jason looks so confused right now. I don't know what's wrong with him. His face looks just like, what is going on? Anyway, so Karma, just like the last couple of matches, I think I've seen her twice in the last few weeks. She comes out with this like towering, massive female wrestler. She's significantly taller than everybody else. She's towering over Salem. And that's kind of the match that she runs. Salem runs into her, doesn't flinch. Until finally she takes that big bump. And when that bump happens, the crowd pops. I love it. It makes sense. And we don't have anybody else that can do that in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
So she's very unique in that. I enjoyed it. It was a good match. Man, Salem landed some chops on Karma, and Karma's chest was so red. When she came out the intermission, she walked towards, I think she actually went to see Kit. And she walked by my sister, and my sister was like, oh, good match. And she's like, I almost got her there. And then she turned in her chest, and my sister was like, oh, Jesus, your chest looks awful. And she's like, it doesn't hurt. Like, just kind of no selling it. But anyway, the psychology is really good. Doesn't have the most experience in the ring, so I think Karma needs more time. But I really do respect that she's building that psychology. And Salem's, man, one of the best young talents in the Maritimes. Definitely one of the best young talents in the women's division. She's another, we talk about future champions or current champions, but future big champions in a big promotion. Salem's got it. She's got a unique look, unique style. She's fast. Her stuff's crisp. I really enjoy Salem Wilder, man. Great match.
Yeah, I love the whole, like you say, the stance of Karma Rain. She reminds me of Nia Jax.
Yeah.
She gives
Yeah,
you
a little bit.
That whole like big girl vibe. She's taller than pretty much everybody else on the card. You know what I mean? Like, it's really cool. And like you say, Salem is for as green as she is, because she hasn't been in the business that long, she is unbelievably fantastic.
Yeah.
She's caught on quick. Her gimmick is fantastic. She knows how to take a bump. She knows how to sell, and she is super over with the crowd.
Very.
So,
I recorded a lot of these matches on my phone and did a terrible job at it. I watched one back and it wasn't great, but I did enough so that the boys could see the matches.
Yeah.
So I shared it with the three guys so they could all see it. And, I just want to give myself credit for that. Good job, Corey. But no, I just wanted you guys to be able to see it, because those Mirror Machine shows, man, it's my second one. They're so much fun. The kids are so into it. It's loud, like electrically loud in there. One of my favorite venues too. Great venue. The seats, the chairs are so comfortable. Every friggin' venue needs to buy these seats. That stupid Titan, the whale, the holy whale that my sister thinks is a church. Those chairs are so uncomfortable. Church pews would be better. Those chairs are terrible. Cheryl, get on that. Get church pews in the holy whale. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy these chairs, and the chair goes a long way, man. When you're not thinking about how bad your ass hurts, you're focusing on the match and enjoying yourself. Jason feels it. We're big boys, man. Those chairs are rough. But yeah, good matches. So the boys got to see it too. What's the next match, Corey?
The next match is Fantana beating Matt Chevron.
Fuck, this was good. Oh my God, this was so good. Fantana, one of the most over performers in the Maritimes, no matter where he goes. someday I want to see him as a heel. That heel turn would break every little heart in that damn building. I don't know if he has it in him because he's such a nice guy, but man, could you imagine IHW if he turns heel? He's so over as a face. He comes out, crowd loses it. I love Fantana. Fantana's top 5 talent in the Maritimes for me. You talk about guys that you'll buy a ticket to see. LG, Fantana, AWOL for me. Hollywood Cole, Sabotage, Madison Miles, Dave Boyce. There's a lot of people in the Maritimes, but for me, Fantana's right up there.
Yeah,
I love seeing him on a card, and I haven't seen a ton of Chevron. Man, that guy's so talented. I had a chat with him after the show. I'd never met Fantana. So here's a fun fact. I don't like meeting people. I don't like bothering people. Before we had this wrestling podcast, we had the other podcast. It wasn't going the best. I wasn't meeting wrestlers. I didn't want to meet wrestlers. I didn't want to tell them that I was on that podcast. I just wanted to watch the show. With this one, we're moving very quickly. We're gaining respect. We've got a lot of listeners, which I really, really appreciate everybody listening to these shows. But I've taken it upon myself to kind of go, all right, I'm going to introduce myself to people and kind of tell them, I'm Corey from the podcast. I'm the big Corey from the podcast, the better looking Corey from the podcast, the
less elfier one,
the one with the the one with the voice you like to listen to. But no, genuinely, I've been trying to get out and introduce myself to more of the guys because I just wasn't a person to, I'm not going to get in the autograph line in front of kids and take time away from them when I know how much they enjoy that. But I've been trying to take a minute and introduce myself to people, and I never met Fantana. I've probably seen Fantana wrestle 40 times, 50 times. I've seen so many Fantana matches, going back to Miramachi NWE, just a ton of Fantana matches, all of his IHW stuff. But I never introduced myself to him, so it was really nice to meet him. Such a nice guy. And then that chat with Chevron, man. I had no idea how long he's been wrestling. He's a very interesting fella, well-spoken. I really loved this match. It was so damn good. And it showed a lot of versatility from Chevron because he almost had to work this as like a lucha match. He kept up with Fantana, and I respect that. Fantana is not easy to keep up with. I probably couldn't keep up with him in a million years. My God. I don't know how Chevron was still standing at the end of that match. It was just so fast-paced. But, match of the night for me, probably.
Yeah, I watched that match, and, as you mentioned, you recorded them, so... to me,
yes, bow down. You're welcome, Jason. My man, you are so welcome, Jason.
Definitely match of the night. For
you
me,
don't know how close I was holding that phone to my junk. You were pretty much watching from the angle of my belly button. You're welcome, boys. You're welcome, boys. Carry on, Jason.
God. Yeah, definitely match of the night. Like you said, Fantana is definitely in my top 5, possibly in my top 3. Chevron is fantastic. I love his style. And just watching them go like toe to toe in this match was fantastic. I loved it. What are you doing, Mark?
He's preparing for Mark's side of the ring.
Honestly, I've nothing else to say because I feel like you guys just went over all of it. But yeah, Fantana's one of the top guys probably to work with. And I mean, if you really, really want to showcase who you are or what you are, I guess, as a wrestler, trust me, it's a hit or miss, I'd imagine, right? So you're either gonna like holy shit or you're gonna do really, really good. So
maybe they're gonna holy whale. The church, the chair loves.
I agree with Mark, though. I think if you can keep up with Fantana, you can keep up with anybody in the Maritimes. The guy's a cardio machine and such a great talent. And one of the biggest things is that he never made it to a bigger promotion because he has all the talent in the world.
He does.
And right now, he's probably in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
He's training really a lot more than he has. He's working with a personal trainer right now. He's put on a bunch of bulk. We were talking not too long ago, he's put on like almost 15, 20 pounds of muscle in the last couple months. Wow. So, yeah. There's going to be... He's a vet, but his better days are yet to come, I think.
I think so. You know what's funny about Fantana's next big match is against Logan Green, and we're going to get to Logan Green in a second. But there are two so opposite characters.
Yeah.
You go to a show to see LG, to see him talk and to banter with the crowd and to insult people and all that. And Fantana, you go there to see him work. And how these two different things can mesh and be the best thing on the card is beyond me. We know it's going to be the best thing on the card. Corey's got the biggest, goofiest grin on his face. He's so happy about this match.
I bought my ticket so quick for that show in Riverview in June for Sunfest. I think I was probably the first message that Obey had to send to secure my tickets. And I'm proud of that. That's fine. I'm telling you right now, IHW, best year they've had in a decade.
And they are going to be in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, Bucktooth.
July 14th. We will all be there. I swear to God, today, every single person that would listen to me, I was like, there's wrestling in Bucktooth, IHW. It's Eventbrite, right? They can buy tickets on Eventbrite.
Buy tickets on Eventbrite. They're not available yet. They will be available soon.
No joke, a Mexican friend of mine, Isaac, I brought him and I was like, can you translate to the other Mexicans that don't speak English that there's wrestling July 14th, $20 to get in. You can't get Lucha Libre. And I was like going Lucha Libre, Lucha Libre. And they're like, I'm going to have to...
Corey's going to be signing autographs at the show at all of his...
No, what I'm going to do is if LG's there, LG better be there. Because I'm going to have to teach him a little bit of Spanish before the show so he can get everybody.
Oh my God.
But honestly, if they're fans of wrestling, in their home country of Mexico, they would love a guy like Fantana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that's the one guy.
So well.
I already know there's a bunch of Mexicans that were like, yeah, we're going to be there.
Sweet.
And I was like, Fantana's going to be your guy. They're like, why? It's like, well, he's got a mask. They're like, oh, he's a luchador. I'm like, yeah, he's the Maritime luchador. I can't wait.
Excited.
When Jason, and then Jason, fuck you for this. He sent me this when I was going to bed and kept me awake for another half hour. I was like, oh, finally! I've been begging for this for a year now, maybe more. Yep. But IHW really Bucktooth, I can't wait. And it's in July.
July 14th.
Promoters, please.
A Monday night.
Monday night, which is even better.
A Monday night?
A Monday night. July, baby, like the old Kokang Arena.
I didn't realize it was a Monday night.
A Monday night. And guess what's at the end of that week?
Work.
Dave Boyce Championship Wrestling Supercard 4. Chris Cook challenging Chip Chambers for the Maritime Heavyweight title. That is going to be the week of weeks. And we're not even done with IHW here.
Yeah, we still got some great matches coming up.
Shane Butterlove, he beat the big bad LG Logan Green. I say this every single fucking week, and it's not going to change anytime soon. My absolute fucking favorite in the Maritimes is big bad LG Logan Green. So, he is the man, and you will not change my opinion on that.
LG comes out, and it's, I think, Butterlove's grandma's birthday.
Oh.
And he comes out, I don't know, happy birthday to Butterlove's grandma. But Shane Butterlove in Miramichi, there's like a corner of the venue that's like the Butterlove section. They're crazy about him. It's amazing to see the support. LG comes out, doing his little strut, the Royals, and I'm like, yes, this is what I'm here for, baby! And he's, telling kids not to touch him, pretending to shake hands, pulling the hand back, getting the kids with the old ha ha ha. But he's got a card in his hand. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Is he going to be the announcer? What's going on? So he gets in the ring, grabs the mic, and goes, I understand that it's somebody's birthday tonight, baby. And he gives her a card. And it's just so damn funny, man. He sang happy birthday to her. Did I record that? I know LG posted it. LG posted it on his socials. So funny. My God, this guy is gold. Butter loves music hits. He comes out. They had a great match.
Is it the power of love?
I don't know, dude.
You need to pay attention.
I don't pay attention to the music. I'm there for the wrestling.
You're there for LG. I don't blame you.
I am there for LG. It was a great match. Classic LG match. Butter Love, very impressive, talented kid, man. He hasn't had a ton of matches, but the guy's very agile. His stuff's, you can tell that he's green. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's polished, but he's progressing well. I would say more comfortable in this match than when we saw him a month ago in Miramichi. So
That's good.
Props to Butter Love. He's getting some bookings with other promotions as well. But man, LG, what a talent! Hilarious, cracks me up. My sister's favorite performer in the Maritimes right now because
We finally agree on something.
She tells me 7 times on the drive home how much she loves LG. I'm like, all right.
She got a picture with him too.
Oh man, that was the funniest thing.
She
Oh,
got
how
a
much did he
photo
charge?
with LG.
Yeah,
$50 at least.
Nothing, because I was like, "Can you get a picture with my sister?" And he's like, "Absolutely, I can get a picture with your sister." See, Mark, unlike you, LG and I are good friends,
There you
and
go.
I'm a big supporter.
It's not that hard.
I think he's kind of a shitty human being. He's a little bit of a scummy. Like, shake a kid's hand, LG. Come on now. But
They probably are full of germs. LG, you're doing God's work. Don't get sick.
I just love
Don't
LG.
miss a
Man.
show.
What a talent. And it cracks me up. Fun to watch. This was a good match. The hardest match of the night. First match after intermission. And right before the main event. It's just not a good position to be in. And they popped the crowd. They got the crowd back into it. Woke everybody back up. I had just eaten. They have really good hot dogs at this place. I had a hot dog, Diet Pepsi, hot dog, Diet Pepsi, hot dog, Diet Pepsi. Boom, boom, boom. It was very good. Very good. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, good match. They got me back into it and ready for the main event.
And the main event was IHW Heavyweight Champion of the World, Chris Charters, beating the legend himself, Julian Young, in a rematch.
No holds barred match.
No holds barred rematch.
I want to go back a few matches. I forgot to mention something. Karma and Salem was Gerald Sharkey's 100th match.
That's right.
Congrats to Sharkey, 100 matches. One of the best refs in the Maritimes, man. He's got
Agreed.
a look. He's got a style. I love Sharkey, man. What a guy.
One of the best.
Podcast supporter, early podcast supporter.
Yep.
Big fan of this guy, but that's not why I'm saying this. Congrats to him, 100 matches. I love where he's going with his career. Can't wait to see him in PEI this weekend. So back to the
He's
main
going to be there. That's right.
Yeah. This was
Congratulations, Sharky.
We saw him. Congrats, Sharky. We didn't get to see him or chat with him at the IHW show, but I really wanted to introduce myself to Sharky, and I didn't get the chance. So hopefully I'll have the chance on Saturday at IPW.
This match, so damn good, man. Started a little slow. I think the crowd, LG is so over in the Maritimes right now that as much as first match after the intermission is tough, first match after an LG match is not easy. The crowd burnt out a little bit. They pop for Julian coming out. They hate him. I mean, Charters. I'm old. Leave me alone. I've known him as Chris Hicks. You're lucky I don't call him the Maritime Idol. Leave me be. We all know who I mean, and I fucking love the guy. Such a good talent. And he's literally having the best matches of his career right now. This
100%.
guy's around our age, right? Like he's definitely a vet.
He's my age.
Yeah, he's a
So
vet.
definitely your age, not my age.
Yeah.
He knows my age.
He's got almost 20 years in the ring, if not 20 years in the ring. And man, to have that much experience and to be having your best matches right now is really something. And it's always a privilege to see him. This was a great match. Started a little bit slow. They got the crowd back into it. There was this unreal bump through a chair where the seat just folded. It looked brutal. It looked so painful. But the fact that these guys do this kind of stuff to entertain us, I love wrestling, man. This was a great match. Charters Hicks, Maritime Idol, retains. The crowd leaves heartbroken, but Julian Young, another guy who's, having stellar matches still. It was a privilege. It was a great match. Good Miramichi show. If you're not from the Miramichi area, make the drive out. This is such a fun show. Such a fun crowd. They said they'd be back probably in September. I will be there. Unless there's something else going on that night, I could not imagine anything that would keep me away from these IHW shows until hockey starts, and then it'll be like, God damn it. There's this overlap that's going to be hard for me because I'm really enjoying Maritime Wrestling right now. It's been a good summer, and we're only June. So
There you go. Yeah, what can you say about... So in your opinion, Corey, is the feud over? Is the Miramichi feud over? Charters wins, Julian moves on, something else?
I think so. I don't know what you do after this match, right? Like, you just had a street fight. What do you have? Catch someone on fire match? Like, what do you have, an Inferno? Like, where do you go from here? I think it's over. I don't know where it leads because there's really nothing super set up for Charters in the future. So I'm not sure where that leads him. Don't know where it brings Julian Young. But I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Hollywood Cole on the next show against somebody like, I don't know, Samson perhaps. I could see that
possible.
as the main event. I don't think the main event necessarily has to be the IHW Heavyweight Championship for it to be a worthwhile main event. So,
do you want to hear what I think about it?
Oh,
Not
God,
really.
here we
Yes.
go.
I think it's going to be
Obey. Not really.
Obey and Owens.
Obey and Owens. No, that's what's being built to for sure.
Yeah.
That was kind of set up. I think we're not done with LG and Butter Love yet. I think Butter Love gets a win there. It's a big one for him. I think LG comes back and Butter Love has to defend the honor of his grandma. So I don't think that one's done. And it was a really good match. And I think getting Butter Love in the ring with a guy like LG who's got some experience, it's going to be good for somebody that's young like him. But I'm curious to see where these storylines in Miramichi go. Such good shows.
Yeah.
I think the LG and Butter Love storyline ends in like late May next year on her next birthday.
Oh, I like it.
That'd be a cool idea.
That'd be all right.
I like that.
The last birthday or something. I don't know. Call it something like. I don't know.
That's the end of the shows for this.
Well, not her last
week,
birthday, but the last birthday, the like LG.
Yeah, Mark's fucking dark.
That's
over
kind
here.
of dark. That went wrong.
A little dark. So upcoming shows, Jason.
We'll get to that in a minute. Mark, you got trivia?
That I do. I did post on Sunday a trivia question on our Facebook page. And basically, we were welcoming anybody that might know the answer to post it in the comments. I'll be honest, we didn't get too many answers, but we did get a couple of good answers here in this case. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was the most difficult question.
It wasn't.
But at least... Well, no, I guess not.
No, it was an easy question, but...
no, it was an easy question.
They'll get harder.
There's a lot of people know about it, so...
So is this going to be a weekly segment?
That would be correct. And I think...
I love it.
Yeah, and I think we're going to try and find something a little bit more difficult. And just kind of try and not use Google, guys. Try and not use Google.
Yeah. So what was the trivia question this week?
So, the trivia question this week, I'm going to read it for you. It was, which wrestling promotion was known for its Saturday night TV broadcasts in the Maritimes during the 1970s and 1980s? Do you guys have an answer?
I do.
And what would it be?
Well, the answer is Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling.
That would be correct.
But you could have also said International Wrestling. I don't know if they were on Saturday, though. So the correct answer... I wasn't born in the 70s. I was barely alive for the 80s. I'm a 90s kid, born in 88, so... but Grand Prix Wrestling is the correct answer, and you said that 2 people had it right, so name them off.
Yeah, exactly. And pretty much a couple of minutes after I posted the question, we have our good friend Connor that answered the correct reply here, or the correct answer.
Connor Cook.
That is correct. Yes, the birthday boy.
Birthday boy, there you go.
Birthday boy, which posted that it was Grand Prix Wrestling. And not too long afterwards, we also had Ruth Vieno, which did post the Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling run by Emile Dupree. So that is also correct. Yeah,
correct. I love this segment. I don't remember
every Sunday. It was a Mark idea. So every
It was a Mark
Sunday,
idea. It's a great idea.
So,
Love it.
Mark will be posting.
This might be where it becomes official, but it's called the Sunday official, unofficial, Maritime Wrestling Podcast
Trivia
trivia.
question.
Works for me.
Sunday.
So
so-
upcoming shows.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're still talking about Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling here.
Oh, we are. Oh,
Hola.
big announcement here, folks. My
Big
French came out. So, Jason, we had a big one.
Yeah, so Sunday we sat down with
Sunday.
That's right. We sat down with an Atlantic Grand Prix wrestling legend. Had a nice conversation. We recorded it. It's coming out on Canada Day. It's a big one for us. We're gonna do some teaser clips coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna be Throwback Thursday. We're gonna post some of his matches leading up to Canada Day, so you guys can get a feel of what he did. But Corey, who did we interview?
At some point you realize, wow, did we actually make it? Before I mention who it is, this isn't possible without Dave Boyce giving us a helping hand here.
Absolutely.
Dave Boyce reached out to this gentleman.
But should we keep it on a cliffhanger and just
we're not keeping it on a cliffhanger. We're letting the public. We're giving the public the information right here, right now.
Fair enough.
The graphic has already been made. Canada Day, July 1st. For anybody that don't know what Canada Day is, No Class Bobby Bass will be on the unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast interview series. It's still surreal. I've been hearing stories about No Class Bobby Bass. I mentioned that to a bunch of my coworkers who don't give a fuck about wrestling.
Yeah.
Stopped in their tracks. The old wrestler, No Class Bobby Bass, Grand Prix Wrestling. I was like, yeah. They couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. One of the highlights of my YouTube career so far, and I know for all of you as well. So, July 1st, Canada Day.
Ultimate
No Class
storyteller.
Bobby Bass. Oh, unbelievable. It was an absolute pleasure. And, like I said, this isn't possible without the great Dave Boyce, and he'll always have a special place in my heart for giving us a minute with fucking No Class Bobby Bass. It was the absolute best.
A minute. Wow. It was a quick conversation.
It was a quick conversation.
Actually,
So,
it was a great interview. We're definitely looking forward to you guys hearing it. Hour and a half, roughly. So lots of stories, lots of insight. How he got his nickname, No Class Bobby Bass, the whole 9 yards. So you guys will hear it on July 1st.
That was a funny story, I gotta be honest.
Yep. No spoilers.
Yeah, I know. Just adding
Corey,
a little bit of suspense to it.
Corey, we got Bobby Bass on July 1st.
Oh man, I was listening back to it today, and man, great stories. Amazing to have a legend like that on. I was sorry I was gone for a second. I just got back, so I'm sorry I wasn't here for that announcement. My God, we have a private chat, the four of us, and there was a picture that Mark shared of Mr. David Boyce, the legend himself, Gary Williams, and the legend Bobby Bass all together. And Mark was like, it's wild we've had all three of these guys on here. I was at work when he sent it, and I sat there and I just stared at it for a minute. I was like, that's fucking...
I did the same thing.
Unreal, man.
It's unreal.
The amount of support that we've gotten from the boys means a lot, for sure.
Means a lot.
Oh yeah,
incredible.
The acceptance from the community is fantastic.
We wouldn't be here without all of the listeners and all the boys. As you hear my voice crack, because it's amazing, man. It's overwhelming. So
It's an emotional moment.
Emotional
thank you to
moment.
everybody.
And actually, why my voice is cracking is I'm looking at Mark. He has that effect on me.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
He has that
I make
effect
a
on
lot
me.
of people cry.
He takes my breath away.
Oh, okay. All right,
It's
guys.
a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
Jason.
we got two upcoming shows this weekend. United Wrestling, June 7th in Middleton, Nova Scotia. AWOL versus Riggs and Deuce in a TLC match. So that should be pretty interesting. You can visit their Facebook page, figure out what else is going on with that. I believe Robbie McAllister's on the card as well, and a few other people. And also on June 7th, IPW, Island Pro Wrestling, Game On at the PEI Brewing Company in Charlottetown. All 4 of these idiots are going to be in PEI.
Oh, you better believe we'll be there.
We'll be there. So next week we will definitely have all the insight on that event for sure. Next up after this is Mark's Side of the Ring.
Mark's Side of the Ring this week is requested by Dave Boyce. And before Mark gets into it, a few things about this match. This is the only surviving footage of international wrestling. Now, Here's the thing. There was a Monday Night War. It wasn't on a Monday, but it was in the Maritimes back in the day that people just... It's something that annoys me because I am talking right now to Al Zink, his grandson. Al Zink's passed away. And
you're talking to Al Zink like, holy moly, Corey can talk.
So I'm talking to Al Zink's grandson, Dave Arthur, who big shout out to Chris Cook. He got me in contact with Dave Arthur.
That's amazing.
Because I've been picking his brain. I don't want to bother him too much, but it's like one of these things where it's like knowledge. I need more knowledge. I need to know this, need to know that. And like he had some stories that I just couldn't believe. And it's one of those things where back in the day, people would just see wrestling and they'd lump everything into one thing. And it's like, oh, it's Grand Prix. And it wasn't. It just wasn't. You know, there were 2 different promotions. And one thing that Dave Arthur told me is International was an NWA affiliate. Grand Prix wasn't. And you look at the rosters. I love Grand Prix. I love it to death. After finding these picture books that I found my stepdad had, you know, the rosters, Crybaby Cannon, the Mongols. One of the Mongols is Demolition Axe, by the way, who won his first title in the Maritimes, by the way. You know, Tiny Mills, a name that people forgot. He was part of Murder Incorporated, a tag team in the 50s and 60s. And that was international wrestling. One thing survived, one show survived, and it's this match right here. And it's international wrestling. It's for the AWA World Heavyweight title. Mm-hmm. It's Leo Burke challenging Rick Martel in 1984. It says 1986 on in the title, but it's 1984. I know Corey has something to say before we get into this.
2 things. 1, how do I get on the list of people that Corey doesn't want to message too much because he annoys them? I'm not on that list. Corey messages me all the fucking time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm busting his balls. Corey and I have that relationship where I'll bust his balls. He knows I love him. Secondly, I have to do the intro. Mark's out of the ring. Mark's out of the ring. Mark's out of the ring. Corey can talk to dead people. Mark's out of the ring.
Wow.
Sunday.
Leave a comment if you like that down below, and I'll continue to have the intro for Mark's Side of the Ring in the future.
We'll upload it to Spotify once we reach 1 million likes.
So, a few things before Mark gets into this. This is the full show. It's a best 2 out of 3 falls match for the AWA World Heavyweight title. The show starts with a promo from the Cormier brothers. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know who the Cormier brothers are, Leo Burke, The Beast, Rudy K, and Bobby K. So
I kind of want to touch on that, though. Leo Burke wasn't there during
he was there. He was getting massaged in the back, but he was like concentrating.
But he wasn't there. Right. Exactly.
He didn't talk.
Yeah.
So keep going. What they talk about Nature Boy Dylan, which is JJ Dillon. He's managing the Black Ninja?
The Black Ninja, Kendo Nagasaki.
So Kendo Nagasaki, not the British wrestler, but the Japanese wrestler who wrestled in World Class Championship Wrestling. I believe he did WCW. He was the wrestler that had he was bald on top of the head with face paint and did the mist like Kabuki, but not Kabuki.
Right.
Would later on find Big Japan Pro Wrestling. Yes, the deathmatch promotion.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, like, we got especially during the start of that match, it's like you mentioned, it was so interesting because I don't think we've had such a thing in the Maritimes that long, probably after Grand Prix and International Wrestling, where there was actual TV production, right? Like,
No.
there was a promo before the match, like, kind of setting up the match. And,
Real action was on TV. I think it was Eastlink Television in the early 2000s. Other than that, it was all like local, like Bell Community One or Rogers or things like that. But I think Grand Prix and International, like I think, like Maritime Championship Wrestling and Canadian Championship Wrestling, none of that has surfaced in years. So I don't know. I think they were on TV, which would have been ATV or CTV now. But, like, and that's a major Canadian network right there, CTV. And it was on there, but yeah. So this match, best 2 out of 3 falls, Martel defending against Leo.
Yeah, exactly. And basically kind of to introduce, going back, I guess, into that promotion, is basically the Beast and Rudy K, more specifically, kind of going into what happened before the match with Nagasaki kind of just hitting them all with the kendo stick and trying to crush their spirits before Leo Burke hits the match with who they called Ricky Martel at the time, I believe, from what I could hear and see anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just to say, like, they were building a narrative that Leo Burke was, like, maybe if you look at the modern day, John Cena, for example, right, where he always gets beat down, but he has to get up and he has to beat the guy, right? That there was a couple of funny moments, and I did speak to them about it beforehand, where the Beast does his promo and he's like, we have the same mother and the same father, so that means we're brothers. And I was like, yep, I mean, that's kind of true. And basically to say that they're all tough sons of bitches, but anyway.
Here's the thing about the Beast. The footage that exists of the Beast is older, Beast. And he's more comedic, he's calling himself Beastie and all that. The one that Jason was talking to me about earlier, where his promos were grunts, like this wild animal, I wish there was footage of that one.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. And, basically it's just building that narrative, and you see it all through the match, right? I think that's the important part of this whole thing, where they kind of, what I was speaking of, the TV production, the promo, the whole fact that Nagasaki, hit them all with the kendo stick and he was beating on them, and Leo Burke not wanting to appear for the promo and being, focusing and getting a massage or whatever. Like, it was all building that narrative up to the match, right? And it was just I think it's not something that you see anymore. That type of narrative.
It's great, and as the show goes on, for the only thing that survived for international wrestling, I think it's one, like, if this is the way Al Zink booked things, it's a crying shame that ATV, CTV never kept the footage, for not only international but for Grand Prix. There's so like you go on YouTube and you see Lost Media, and
Yeah.
the Maritimes has probably, and I'm sure there's a lot. Like I know the Arizona promotion. I think it was the Arizona Athletic Association or something like that. Like all their footage is gone as well, I believe. But for the Maritimes, like the heyday of the 70s, like I always hear that's when the Maritimes was at its peak.
Yeah.
And it's all gone. Macho Man Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo in Grand Prix, that's all gone. Killer Carl Krupp and Cuban Assassin first debuting in the Maritimes, all gone. Freddie Sweet-Tan, we talked about Freddie Sweet-Tan with No Class Bobby Bass, but none. I found one match online of his, and it's like 40 seconds long, and it's him versus Wahoo McDaniel, where Wahoo just basically chops him and pins him. Like Freddie Sweet-Tan, there's nothing online, and he was a big, huge name in international wrestling, and just all that footage is gone, and shit like that keeps me up at night.
Yeah, and actually, fun fact, I was exploring a little bit on YouTube earlier as well, and I ran into a YouTube channel that was like Clary Fleming, like Productions or something like that. Clary Fleming was it the producer for the show or something of the sort for international wrestling?
Something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know that his name was related to the like.
I feel like he was in Calgary.
I'm not sure.
I could be wrong, but
Clary Fleming was the announcer. For
That's what it was.
ATV for Atlanta Grand Prix
Okay.
in
Right,
Moncton and
right.
Halifax. Yeah,
Okay, so that's what it was.
this was before Gary Maxwell, right?
yeah, way before. Yeah,
Correct. Yeah, he was much older even during that match. So he was probably pushing 70 years old at the time, and that was in '84. So yeah, but yeah, really, really good production, at least to kick off. And yeah, like looking at the introductions, like it kept building because then you had Leo Burke come out to Eye of the Tiger.
Every
which is-
babyface in the mid 80s came out to Eye of the
know.
Tiger. Jerry
Exactly.
Lawler, Hulk Hogan. It was
Exactly.
the theme song to come out. Rocky was brand new at the time.
It's always the hero's theme,
Yep.
right? So that's in a way again building that narrative. He's the hero. You want him to win, right?
Yep.
So building that babyface narrative again. But yeah, like I know that we've had the conversation before where a match nowadays isn't as psychologically based. Like you can see a lot more flippy floppies, whatever you want to call it, right? Like you see a lot more of that nowadays. But this match was so like it was such a build up on a psychological aspect where they were just basically choking each other. Like they were getting into holds for probably 20 minutes ish. And maybe the arm drag to try and counter the choke, and then he would grab him at another choke, and then, you know, like kind of building the fact that Leo Burke needed to choke Rick Martel. And the crowd was like, yeah, choke him, Leo, choke him, Leo. That's all you could hear, like, for the first 20 minutes, right? So, like, again, like, it just felt like it was a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so like it was so progressive in the right way, right?
Yeah.
And like even if it was so simple, it was so effective, and you just don't see that anymore. And I wish that there was a way to implement that type of psychology in a match that we would call, you know, even like 5-star matches that Dave Meltzer called 5-star matches that don't have this.
Yeah.
You know?
I could care less what Dave Meltzer has to say personally.
I know, but
I
you
get what
the gist of it, right?
I'm smelling what you're stepping in. The thing with a type of match like that now is wrestling is totally overexposed.
Yeah.
You watch a main event every time you tune into Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, especially AEW.
Exactly.
So after a few times doing that type of match, it's old. There was a way of doing it back in the day where you would have a show and you'd have a match like that, and the last time you saw a match like that was a year ago. So you'd have to wait.
Yep.
You had a lot of, spot shows and this and that, and you might do that exact same match there, but it's for that audience that didn't see that. But to see it on TV was completely different. Whereas now, you see everything on TV. The one thing that the Attitude did that I hate is kill the business. What's that old line that I used to do, Corey? Once you do a hot lesbian action, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You can't go back to Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, But that's one of the things with this match that I agree with you. It's so well paced.
Yeah.
It's so
exactly.
and the crowd. If you like a few years ago, Marcus Burt challenged Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight title in North Pro, the first ever North Pro show. There's not one single moment during that match where I was like, Marcus Burke is going to win the NWA World Heavyweight title. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Aldis is on TV for NWA or on YouTube, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to switch the title and there's no NWA cameras there or whatever. It doesn't make sense. For this match, people legit believed that Leo Burke was winning the world title.
That's the thing, because Marshall was there.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was it from the NWA specifically?
AWA.
AWA, sorry.
Yeah.
So he was there to watch the match.
Yeah, it was.
And
was it Stanley Blackburn?
no, it was Marshall. Something Marshall.
Lee Marshall?
Oh, good question, man. I don't remember.
Because the only
yeah,
Marshall they had at the time was Lee Marshall, who would go on to be the voice of Tony the Tiger. No joke.
I guess. Fun fact of the day, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting because of that, right? The guy was there, so they were led to believe there could be a title change tonight.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there be? The guy's right there to hand the title to him.
Yep.
So why wouldn't it be, right? So like that was, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I don't think I've agreed with more. I don't think I could agree with Mark more than right now. It's one of these things. Mark is like 5 years younger than me, so he lost even more time of the old school wrestling. But it's one of these things where we were born too fucking late. And I envy Jason a lot, because Jason would go to watch the studio TV shows for Grand Prix Wrestling and see Malumba and Carl Krupp and Leo and Frenchie Martin and No Class Bobby Bass. All these guys. Like, I saw the Beast and the Cuban Assassin in '99 when they were well past their prime. It was great to see them, but to see them in the '70s and '80s like Jason did, I envy you massively.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun time for sure.
Oh man, but yeah, like it was so interesting, like just to keep with that narrative, right? But like it even pushes further, and I mean, you see Leo Burke, like he got a couple of hits in, and then he got hit, and all of a sudden, and you're already looking at like 30. I don't know if it would have been 30 minutes in, because it was like the time on the video, but probably like 25 minutes in ish, and Ricky Martel, or Rick Martel as we know him, kind of hit Leo Burke back, and all of a sudden he's bleeding.
Yep.
And they were, the announcer, which I believe was Clary Fleming, as we confirmed earlier, he was like, "Oh boy, Leo Burke, he's bleeding, and it might be from the Nagasaki attack." Like,
Yep.
he was hurt, and he's still there, and he's still going at it. Like that's the whole, like, they're just pushing it, man. Like, it was insane.
Yep.
And I loved it, right? Like, it was building that story block by block, block by block, and it was just, they weren't skipping anything. So, but yeah, like, not too long after that, I believe, was when Leo Burke finally choked out Rick Martel in a sleeper hold. And man, the crowd was rowdy. They were hopping from their seats.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. It was electric. And like, and again, just kind of saying, I would love to see such a moment at least once where we would just pop like that. Like at an event. I don't even care where it is.
We have. But
My bad.
I get what you mean.
But that's special, right? Because it's the AWA World title.
Yeah.
Like, this is a title that we've seen people hold it that are absolute legends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Who knows? We might see something of the sort. I wouldn't be able to say no, because who knows what they'll do eventually. But to see somebody defend, like, let's say, like, what would we compare to this title? Maybe now the NWA title.
In 2018.
It's weird, man. We can't.
2018. I don't think the belt was on the line, but seeing Pete Dunne do a UCW show as WWE United Kingdom champion,
right,
was kind of mind blowing. And I believe he defended the title against Tyler Bate on that tour. His match against Marcus Burke, I believe, was non-titled because you can't have WWE talent, non-WWE talent challenge for the belt. But Pete Dunne won the match against Burke anyway, so it's like, just make it a title match. The belt's right there.
Yeah, exactly. Just, for what we would call shits and giggles. But
exactly.
But yeah, like, kind of to conclude with all of that, like, Martel got him back. He got one fall after that. So
he did not.
He did not. It was wasn't a time limit draw?
So
is that what they
this
called?
Is how much.
I'm so confused.
So this is how much they put over Leo Burke without actually making him win. The Nagasaki attack.
Right. Yeah.
Bleeding from the Nagasaki attack after Martel hit him with a punch. Getting the first fall. It goes to a 60-minute time limit draw. You need 2 falls to win the belt. He only got one. He did not get pin or submit to Martel, though.
No, that's right.
Kendo Nagasaki then comes into the ring, and along with J.J. Dillon, they both attack Leo Burke. Rick Martel helps him out. The one thing that I remember is the first guy to put his hands on the belt is Leo Burke. And he holds it for a while, and you're seeing the light bulbs go off. So it's like, number one, you don't win the belt, but you got to fall over him, and there's going to be a picture of you holding the belt.
Yeah.
You can't put this guy more over. They protected him so well. After that match, he was the hero. Like, I think this might be, like, on film that survived, this might be Leo Burke's best performance.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not. Because honestly, even at the end of that, you can see, like, well, during the match, even, like, Rick Martel was like, "Oh, don't hit me, don't hurt me," like, like, obviously, like, he was hitting him with a hammer or something. But, like, he was just being put over the whole way.
And you got to mention, Rick Martel got his start in the Maritimes.
Yeah,
under the name Pat Kelly. Yeah, him and his brother Mad Dog Martel. Mad Dog Martel died super young, like in the late 70s. They both wrestled for International Wrestling in the 70s. Rick Martel, I have a few pictures on Facebook of him as Pat Kelly. He's every bit of 18 years old, I believe. Like, he is super young. And it's incredible to see that Leo Burke got this moment without actually winning the title. Mm-hmm. But sometimes this is what's going to get you more over. It's like you said, the Rocky story. Yeah. But you look at Rick Martel this is 84. in 5, 6, 7 years, he's rubbing shoulders with the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. It seems that every time you see a big name like that against Leo Burke or the Beast, Steven Pettipa, you look at who they fought, and it's like Leo beat him, the Beast beat him. It's like there was a way of doing it back in the day that's so, like, you didn't know the insides of the business like fans do now. Like, we didn't know wrestling terminology and all that, and to us it was just, wow, that happened. Well, a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah, let me put something in perspective, actually, just for the fun, you know?
Yep.
Like, if we think about it right now, Rudy Lockhart, he was North Pro champion.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
Well, he
Right?
pinned Moondog Dylan Davis, therefore giving him the belt.
Exactly.
Don't you know
Crazy,
anything about
right?
science?
Crazy, right? No, but like just thinking about it, right?
It is and it isn't. A year ago, I had a conversation with Rudy Lockhart, and I said, in a year from now, you're going to be a world champion in one of these promotions.
Okay.
And I love to be right. I was right. It was very short-lived. He's going to get another crack at it, and he's going to win it again, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some guys that are really can't miss, and if they do miss, you're like, what went wrong there? And with Rudy Lockhart seeing what he did, you know, could you compare Rudy Lockhart to a Leo Burke in popularity? Not right now. Could he become one of these maritime legends? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. But what if, you know, this isn't the end of that whole story, right? But who knows? You know, unless we see that narrative build, hey, you know, why not?
Yeah. It's one of these things for this one. For this match, it's, you know, talking with Dave
right now. Corey's fighting
Yeah.
off his sneeze, folks.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
Big
trying
fan.
not
in
to
there.
sneeze. You know, in talking with Dave Arthur, and spoiler alert, I'm working on bringing Dave Arthur in July to talk about his grandfather Al Zink. I don't know. It's a shame that this is the only footage. This survived, and a commercial, a 30-second commercial that Dave Arthur actually sent me. So, you know, we're going to bring in Dave in July. I really can't wait to talk to him because it was his grandfather. You know, and there's so much that we don't know about maritime wrestling from the 60s, 70s. I'm doing my history of maritime wrestling right now. Is everything there factual and 100%? Probably not. I'm going with what I see. I'm going with what's online.
Yeah, you can only use the information that you're provided and that you can
Exactly. So to me, it's, and I've had fans tell me they enjoy it. I've had wrestlers tell me they enjoy it. And it's one of these. I know Corey. He says like it's my favorite thing that you do, and you know I also do the BSHL podcast with you. That's a pretty big one, you know.
Yeah.
It's good to hear a history of maritime wrestling.
But it's
my
one of
favorite
those.
thing you do on this channel, and I'm a part of a podcast on this channel, so I'm
There
kind
you
of
go.
putting ourselves down here. I have something for you.
Yes.
Earlier, you were talking. I'm just going to go way off topic, but it's going to come back around, and it'll make sense in a minute. So earlier, you were talking about the heart punch for James Manning.
Yep.
So then during this match, you were talking about Rick Martel's brother. What was his name again?
Mad Dog Martel.
Mad Dog Martel. On the night of June 30th, 1978, Mad Dog Martel was wrestling at a WWC event in Ponce, Puerto Rico, appearing on the undercard in a six-man tag match alongside Pierre Martin, Jack Lafarbe, facing Carlos Colon and the Invaders, Invader 1, Invader 2. Showing no signs during the match, he complained of suffering hot flashes during the match to his tag team partners while preparing to leave backstage. He left the arena along with Pierre. On his way to San Juan, he suffered a heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital in Ponce, where he was pronounced dead. Rick Martel, then 22, would eventually be flown to Puerto Rico to identify his brother and bring the body back to Quebec. It was announced by Bob Leonard on Stampede Wrestling, but also on the WWEC, where promoter Carlos Colon and Jose Gonzalez, who I believe was Invader 1, would use Martel's death to promote a long-running feud between the Invaders and Pierre Martin and Rick Martel, with the promotion claiming that Martel's heart attack had been caused by Gonzalez using the then-banned Heart Punch during their last match.
Yeah.
The incident was later brought up when Jose Gonzalez stabbed American Bruiser Brody, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. So it was kayfabe. That's not really the reason. But it's kind of funny that it all ties back together with something we were talking about earlier, right? Isn't that
It's
bizarre?
so weird.
The historian of Maritime Wrestling, Corey Vautour.
100%.
Gracias. Thank you. I love Jason and Corey that they're so quick-fingered. When you're talking about something and you click, 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 all of a sudden they pull out a story and it's like, that's why you guys are here. That's why you guys outrank me.
We're
in
not
work.
only here for good looks, we're here for being able to Google quickly. But anyway, that's interesting, and I thought it tied back in with Martel, so I wanted to share it.
And also,
I didn't know that story, by the way.
talking of quick fingers, Jason did manage to find a photo of Clary Fleming with Al Zink.
And J.J. Dillon.
That is J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon.
I was going to say I think is J.J. Dillon, but I was just going to keep it to mystery guy or whatever. But yeah, I think that is J.J. Dillon.
I asked Dave Arthur because if you look at early international, like in the late 60s, early 70s, like who was your grandfather's top guy? Was it Leo Burke or was it the Beast? Because the Beast is all over the place. There's a case for Rudy K too. And without hesitation, he sent Leo Burke. He said he was the man of the Maritimes. Simple as that. So, it's interesting because he also said that there is a case for J.J. Dillon. J.J. Dillon's an American. The earliest match I can find of J.J. Dillon is actually in a match versus the California Hells Angels, Paul and Ron Dupree. Paul Dupree would later on be known as Chris Colt, who had a Dark Side of the Ring, and I've made a video on Chris Colt as well, one of my most popular videos, actually. But he was huge in the Maritimes, and it's one of those things where he made the Maritimes his... International went out of business in 1977. And in 1984, it came back, and Al Zink brings back J.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
He loved it in the Maritimes.
There's a reason. So he was the booker at I think it was close to that, where they were bringing in American talent.
Yep.
For
the year later, he's in Jim Crockett Promotions. He's in Jim Crockett Promotions, and he's managing Nature Boy Buddy Landell. Not long after that, he's part of the Four Horsemen. Within a year or two, he goes from the Maritimes to arguably the biggest faction in professional wrestling.
Yeah. So basically, I was reading up on that, and I don't know if he just kind of flaked from international wrestling and went to Crockett Promotions. I don't
international closed down.
What did they close down? Okay, yeah, because I don't think it was going very well at the time. So
man, there's so much that I talked with Dave Arthur about that I want to wait for July, and I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, we'll save that for July when we get Dave on.
Buddy.
Yeah.
And again, if Chris Cook listens to this, I'm forever in your debt.
What do you mean, if Chris Cook listens to this? When Chris Cook listens?
When
he's doing the dishes tomorrow.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris is the absolute man. Love Chris Cook.
The dishes.
So with that being said, that was this episode of Mark Side of the Ring.
Do we have to do the outro now, Corey? Or
no, but we will say once again, thank you to the birthday boy, the Maple Grove Growler, Connor Cook.
And the North Pro Superfan.
Corey's favorite cousin.
That's
great
a
guy.
straight shoot. That's a straight shoot. Connor's one of my favorite people, man.
My favorite maritime YouTuber. Boom. Said it.
Jenna and Charlotte love my sister and my niece love Connor to death. Every time we're at a show together, they get a picture taken together. So
Yeah. Who doesn't like the person that doesn't like Connor isn't welcome in my life.
yeah, they're definitely on my shit list. That's for sure.
Yeah, so if you do not support the Maple Grove Growler, get the fuck out of here.
You know what?
We are,
as much as Corey is a historian on maritime wrestling, I'm a historian on Cook family history, and Connor was actually born in North Carolina.
bam, North Kakalaki.
Yeah, true story.
So-
Happy birthday, brother.
On top of
You know what?
that,
Happy birthday to Caleb too.
I was just about to say Caleb.
And Caleb as well. yeah.
Caleb,
Twin brothers.
No way.
he's an afterthought in this, but we wish him a happy birthday. I love
Caleb
man.
is great, man. Caleb is absolutely great. Corey keeps introducing me to members of his family, and I keep loving the members of his family more than him. But
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So with that being said, this is today's episode. Thank you everybody for listening. IPW Canada Day and IPW this Saturday. We will be there. If you see us in the crowd, and if you see us, come say hello. We don't bite.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll be eating
Say
pizza.
hello.
We'll be eating pizza.
Yeah, pizza and
I do bite when I don't take my medication.
that's true. I did see Mark take a chunk off his mother's arm once. Dark days.
What?
Canada Day. We have no class Bobby Bass.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, thank you to everybody. Thank you to Jason. Thank you to Mark the Mark. Thank you to Corey for joining me on this hot Tuesday night. This will come out on
Corey?
Wednesday.
Which Corey? Are you thinking
which one?
yourself or the other Corey?
And that's the end of this episode. Take care.
What a mark.
Take care. Peace.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk that's first rate. Wednesday